Kevin Hester, you are ridiculous.
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, we crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Shut up. See that? That's your IQ, buddy. 0.
Hungry Chicago, finally champions on this January day in New Orleans.
This is the Barely Qualified Podcast with your hosts, Nick Lavris, Jason Maxwell, and Drew Bailey.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Barely Qualified Podcast. I'm Jason Maxwell. With me, as always, are Nick Lavris and Drew Bailey. It might not have been the prettiest game over the weekend, but the Bears managed a thrilling and stressful fourth quarter comeback on Sunday to take care of business against Jackson Dart, a little bit of Russell Wilson, and the New York Football Giants. The win improves their record to 6-3 on the seasons, which is crazy to think about. And don't look now, but our Chicago Bears are 6-1 over the last 7 games, currently in the 7th spot in the NFC playoff picture. So on today's show, we're going to break down the Bears like we always do over the Giants, talk shop around the rest of the NFL, and round things out with another exciting podium list. Before we get to the meat of the show, though, I want to tell you a little bit about our friends over at Lola's Handcrafted Churros in downtown Lisle. Now, Lola's offers up handcrafted churros from scratch, made to order, and piping hot. It doesn't stop there. Lola's pairs these bad boys with ice cream sundaes. I'm talking s'mores, churro sundae, matcha fruity pebble sundae, Nutella and strawberry. The list goes on. Get a sundae, grab a dozen, stop in for one. Whatever you do, you're going to love it. They have coffee, horchata, freshly made churros, ice cream, and as a wise man once said, what more could you want? So check them out at Lola, L-O-L-A, churros.com. Follow them on Insta and TikTok or whatever other socials they might be on at Lola's Handcrafted Churros, and let us know how you like it. So Nick, Drew, let's get into it. Nick, how about you take us away with the Bears recap of that glorious comeback win on Sunday?
Yeah, thanks, Jay, and I will go into that with pleasure. So to start off, our cardiac Bears strike again this week. They keep winning these games, and you're never going to complain about wins, but I don't know how much more our hearts and our bodies can take of all this. It just feels like every game comes down to the last play, which is, they're winning the games, which is awesome. It's not a fun watch most of the time. It's very stressful, but again, wins are wins. 6-1 over the last 7, 6-3 overall in the 7th playoff spot, like you said. So definitely in a better spot than we thought we were going into the season. Definitely getting the wins that we needed to get. This game was, again, one of the last games on the season, on the schedule, where you look at it ahead of time, like, okay, this needs to be a win if you have any shot at making a playoffs or any kind of being, relevant in the NFL this year. So getting the wins is good. How we get there, it's a little stressful, but we'll take it. So to kind of dive into this game a little more specifically, Bears are down 10 points with under 4 minutes to go, which, for my entire life, that's, all she wrote. You can turn the game off. Yeah, you can turn the game off. You can go do whatever you got to do. This game's over. And I almost did, to be honest with you. Actually, we'll dive more into everything. But when Jackson Dart fumbled that ball on the play that eventually knocked him out of the game, shortly before that, as the Giants were driving, I was like, this fucking team sucks. Like, I'm done. Like, they're going to fucking lose. And lo and behold, they just got a turnover there. Came back, won the game. Again, never in a million years did I think that the Bears could win multiple of these types of games in a season, but here we are. So there's 2 ways to look at this, right? One, the Bears clearly have some issues where they go on droughts, and they have issues in that middle, second, third quarter situation where they might start out hot on the script, and then second, third quarter is usually kind of sad and depressing. And then the fourth quarter is the most exhilarating football you've ever seen. So there's 2 ways to think about this. One, are you guys concerned that the Bears are going down this path and we're going to run into a game eventually where they can't flip that switch? Or are you just looking at it glass half full? You're excited about the moxie that this team shows and the fight that this team shows, coming down the wire, never being out of a game, always fighting back. So I'm going to kick it over to Drew. Drew, which of those, where on the pendulum do you fall?
I want to stay as positive as I can. I'm
Oh no, put those
leaning-
glasses back on. You were looking
Yeah,
smart.
Clark Kent.
but I'm definitely leaning towards the resilient side of things. I'd rather have a resilient team that is constantly fighting to win games versus a team that at least that's an identity right now. I think we've struggled to find an identity of teams other than being a loser completely over the past couple of seasons. So this is definitely a change of pace and things. Although you would like to have a little bit less of a trial to get through these games, it is landing finally on the right side of the coin in these 50-50 toss-ups. I think a lot of what we talked about in the preview show of like nothing really scares us, but it completely scares us that we're playing a team that you should definitely handle. So we're probably going to get one of those situations in it. So that's definitely the way that it landed. But at least we can say that right now through 9 games of the season, halfway through, that we have a pretty resilient team that can win games. Where that's going to take us the remaining of the season, I don't know, but at least I know that we can keep things close. Ben Johnson is showing that he knows how to win early. Caleb is finally showing that he knows how to, he always could kind of play in crunch time, but finish things off and not land on the other side of the coin. So, yeah, I'll take resiliency in that realm.
Yeah, and Drew, I'm glad you brought up the word identity. Like, this team does have an identity. I think one of the biggest, there were a lot of complaints about the Eberflus era, but one of the biggest complaints is that they just didn't have an identity. The Bears were just a team that went out there and they struggled on defense. They struggled on offense. They were just a bad team. Like, weren't a good run. Like, they didn't really have an identity. Like, it's not that they were just bad. They had an identity and they were bad at it. Like, there are bad teams that have identities. The Bears just didn't have, they were bad and they didn't have an identity. So seeing a team that has an identity is nice. It's a nice change of pace for us. So I'm glad you brought that up because something we probably should have mentioned over the past few weeks. Like, it's just fun to see a team that you kind of know what you're going to get when you see them. So that's definitely a step forward. So Jay, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Drew. Where do you lie on this whole, are you concerned about the first 3 quarters, or are you happy that the Bears are at least like fighting and they're, and all that stuff?
I'm definitely more on the latter side of that. I'm definitely more excited. These are games like we kind of mentioned that in the past are just the Bears aren't winning these games, and they are. So that's a nice little twist, a nice little change of pace. This isn't. It is a little bit frustrating. Like, it can be a little bit of both. I think that you can kind of take the bad and paint it more good, if you will, and that's kind of. That's even what Ben Johnson was saying. His interview today with the press was he was asked kind of point blank, hey, when your team's in a position where maybe they're not performing on all cylinders and you're having some struggles in the second, third quarter, you're still able to pull out the win. Like, do you think you can continue playing like this against the rest of the schedule when you're playing against some teams that are of a little bit higher talent level and better quality teams? And I thought the question was really good because it's kind of the question we're asking ourselves here. Yeah. And Ben addressed it really spot on, I thought, because what Ben Johnson said in response to that question was, hey, look, the players in the locker room are professionals. They know that they're not playing the cleanest games, but we're still getting wins, right? And so the point being, hey, we're able to coach a little harder and still have wins, and we can still improve upon things, and that's the intention here. So I like that response a lot. It's like, listen, we can still coach hard and celebrate wins and still understand that we have deficiencies and inefficiencies on the team and work hard to get better, but still have the luxury of having wins on our side. And that's kind of how I look at it as a fan too. It's like, listen, a win's a win in the NFL. There's no denying that. It can be ugly. You get in the win column, you're 6-3, you're feeling good. It could be better. And I like that mentality.
Yeah, no, I think, look, we're Bears fans. Like, we'll worry about how to win games going away later. Like, I don't think
Yeah,
we're just going to take the wins right now. Like,
exactly.
I'm glad both of you guys said that. Because yeah, I mean, Jay, you said it really well. Like, it is concerning the first 3 quarters, particularly the second and the third quarter. But I mean, we're winning these games, so there's going to come a time where we get on this Monday show and the Bears lose a game because they couldn't move the ball the entire game, and they, like I said, they couldn't flip that switch. And we'll complain about it then. But right now, the Bears are winning games. The Bears are in the playoff picture right now. The Bears have surpassed their 2024 win total in Week 9, which is a fun little tidbit there. Yeah, I mean, that just kind of speaks to Ben Johnson, I think, because I mean, this is very I mean, the offensive line is better, but besides the offensive line, it's a very similar team from last year, and plus a ton of key injuries. So to already have your win total beat in the first half of the season really says a lot about the upgraded coach we got. So definitely good to see that. So
I wanted one touch. Just
touch.
Looking at the schedule thus far and the games that we've played, I'm supremely confident that if this happened last year or in a different regime or an Eberflus regime, you lose every single one of those 1-score games that come down to the last. You lose the Giants, you lose the Bengals, you lose the Commanders, you lose the Raiders. But it's a complete flip script. It's a 2-7 team versus a 6-3 team. And that again just keeps marking down in my column. And I know your 2 columns that Ben Johnson is the right guy. The coaching staff, the regime is the right way, and they're doing things the right way. So what if we have a point differential that's more points against than for? And so what if you're a sloppy 6-3 team? You're 6-3.
That's right.
There's not a lot that we've been able to say over the past couple of years in that realm. So
right, the point differential is interesting. Like, I think that was a big thing on the Vikings. I don't think it was last year, but it was a couple of years ago. The Vikings had a good record, and they had like a negative point differential all season. And I'll admit that I definitely use that as fuel, as like, well, this team isn't very good. And I'm not a hypocrite because I don't think the Bears are very good.
Right, exactly.
I just think the Bears are winning these games. So, I mean, if you look at the teams the Bears have beat, like, it's not really, not exactly a murderer's row of like teams, like you're talking, like we mentioned, the Raiders, the Giants, the Bengals. Like, they're not playing their schedule's getting significantly harder the rest of the season. But yeah, you win the game, you play the games that are in front of you, and it is a funny little tidbit though that they have a 6-3 record and a negative point differential. That's all because of the Lions game. That's really what it is. Yeah. You lose a game by 30 points, it's going to skew things a little bit. So so anyway, so that's all kind of overall. If we dive into the offense a little bit, we touched on it a little bit, but they just really, it was a real struggle watching this Bears offense the first 3.5 quarters. They did put together 1 touchdown drive in the first quarter, but besides that, it was just a lot of inaccurate throws, drop balls, runs that really didn't go anywhere. It just seemed disjointed. I think I texted everyone, and Paul wasn't watching, and he said like, "Oh, they look bad. Like they just don't look like, it's not smooth. Like, it's just nothing. There's nothing smooth about this. Like, it's just plays aren't building off each other the way they're supposed to. It just looks really, I don't know. It's like rough around the edges." And it was just a frustrating game to watch in the first 3.5 quarters. They did have that touchdown drive that I mentioned in the first quarter. Giants turned the ball over on downs. A lot of turnover on downs in this game. Like I lost count, but I think there was like at least 4 or 5 turnover on downs in this game, which is wild. But so the Giants turned the ball over on downs in the first quarter. Bears take it down and they score a touchdown. That was, I believe, the Kyle Monungai touchdown, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Yeah. But, and then, like we said, as soon as fourth quarter, not even the fourth quarter starts, but when they really basically had literally no more time to waste, they flip the switch and Caleb turns into an elite quarterback. Every throw was perfect on the money. Still some drops, but he was throwing the ball, slinging it left and right, running. I mean, his legs, he was doing everything. And there were we've kind of become accustomed to Caleb being really good about getting out of sacks, like sure sacks, like free rushers coming at him from all angles. There were some plays where I could not believe he got out of in this game. I don't know if you guys had the same reaction watching this, but
Yeah.
there's like 3 or 4 examples I'm watching, and I like still don't understand how he made these professional football players miss him. It blew my mind.
Looked like they were on ice skates too. Just a little
It
like
did.
shoulder deke and a roll out the opposite way. It was like, and then they're just gone.
Yeah.
Neutralized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Caleb even mentioned like he got the post game ball, and he mentioned he was like, offensive line, you're on it. It also feels like he has evolved in his gameplay of like knowing his offensive line and knowing his shot clock, if you will, of like when I gotta move. Right now, I'm just gonna make a random move, or like the one where he spun out of Brian Burns' hands, like just knows the moves that these defensive players are gonna put on him to where he just escapes that. And it's cool to see his evolving in the pocket and outside of the pocket.
Yeah, Adam Marshalletta would have loved this game if he was because he was taking that space and running to it this game, and it worked. It was good, and it wasn't overdoing it, right? Like there was poise in the pocket, and not to get ahead of myself, but Nick, you mentioned it too. Like there were a lot of drops. The wide receivers for the Bears this game were not doing Caleb any favors, and you're right. There was some inaccuracy, but this was, Caleb in the last four minutes, those last 2 possessions looked, I mean, that's what you want to see as a Bears fan. That is like exactly what you want to see, beating you with his arm, beating you with his legs, and putting up 2 touchdown drives with, in crunch time. That's it. That's clutch stuff. Like I'm not used to seeing that. We're not used to seeing that.
Yeah, and I don't know if this play counted as a drop because it would have been a really tough play by DJ Moore. But the play where Caleb like scrambled out of the pocket right and just threw an absolute rope 40 yards in the air to DJ Moore in the end zone that didn't get hauled in for a touchdown. I don't think Caleb's arm gets talked about enough, how elite his arm is. He has a rocket arm.
And he's just flicking his wrist to it, looks like, and is just launching.
He was full sprint running to his right. And then he threw, like I said, that ball was never more than like 8 yards off the ground, just 40 yards on a dime. That's unbelievable arm talent right there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that one counted as a drop because that would have been an insane catch, but definitely the receivers. Specific one thing I want to talk about the Bears offense before we kind of talk about the end of the game. Okay. Olamide Zaccheaus. Olamide Zaccheaus. 3 drops, whatever. Three drops in this game. He's been pretty reliable for the most part this season, but I feel like the last couple of games he just has been not doing so great. And he also had the 3 drops, big drops. One was a touchdown. You pair that with the fact that Luther Burden in his limited action today produced he had 3 catches for 51 yards and limited snaps. I don't know if you guys saw one of the one play that he ran. I've seen it all over like NFL Instagram and stuff, not just Bears Instagram. He ran like one of the cleanest like comeback routes I've ever seen in my life. I mean, when are we going to get Luther Burden as our starting slot receiver? I think it's time. I think that is, this game has kind of proven that. You had a really positive game from Luther, a very negative game from, now I'm forgetting how to pronounce his name.
Let's say Zaccheaus.
Yeah. Zaccheaus. So like, Nick, I'm with you. Like that it's time to get him some more run, especially if DJ's missing time. But even if not, like Burden's got the talent to play, and he needs to be on the field more.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, like Olamade's route tree seemingly is very limited right now. Like he's a possession guy, slants over the middle, quick outs, stuff like that. Some of the routes that he was running that he had drops on were longer posts or corner routes that like maybe he just isn't in his game. And that's probably, I would say, then on Ben Johnson to identify that and say, okay, well, if I'm choosing to run that, then Luther Burden needs to be at that slot position, ready to go to run a corner that will be a guaranteed catch. But I mean, to this point, Olamade's been semi-serviceable for us, so I don't want to write him completely off. Bad game, everyone can have him, but that was tragic because even Greg Wilson was announcing and saying like, yeah, you got to make a lot of those catches and help your quarterback out.
Yeah, and I don't even know if what part of this is. I think we all just want to see Burden play, right? I mean, they took him early in the second round. He's a dynamic outside player. I think you just want to. So Zaccheaus, like he had a bad game, and that happens. And honestly, I've been wanting this for weeks. Not even because of this isn't even really about his play. It's really just about I want to see Burden out there. I think we all do. I don't even, and the thing is that, so I don't even know if he doesn't have the skill set that I think is perfect for a slot player. So I wouldn't even be opposed to like putting him and Rome on the outside and like moving DJ to the slot. I think that might be a successful receiver pairing. I think that DJ has a lot more of that slot receiver in him, whereas I think that Burden and Rome are your classic X and Y like outside receivers. So I think that would be a fun thing to watch. I think if they were to go that way. But
I definitely want to see more of all three of them on the field at the same time. When they're running three wide sets, I want it to be Burden as the third guy and Zaccheaus not so much. But and like you said, Nick, it's not just because Zaccheaus had a bad game, but the upside is higher than Zaccheaus. I mean, we know what Zaccheaus is. Like he's been in the league long enough. He's fine.
He's fine.
Burden can be more than fine, and that's what's attractive there.
Yeah, and Burden has been more than fine in his limited run this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has not gotten a lot of snaps, but with his snaps, he has usually produced. So, I want to see more Luther Burden, and I don't think there's anything. I think that's probably pretty standard for all Bears fans. We want to see Luther Burden out there more. So, let's get him out
that's a good problem to have too, because we get back to there's a lot of mouths to feed out there. We saw things in like DJ Moore didn't get a catch this game, just like Rome didn't get in the previous game. So like it's more of like, this is a great problem to have. I'm all for it. Yes, you want to see Luther get out there and get more run. As long as the offense seems to be running and churning through something, I'm okay with whoever's getting whatever lion's share of the targets, touches, whatever.
100%.
Yeah, it is a good problem to have for sure. And I just want, when you said that, it triggered something in my mind. We are 3 years removed from possibly having the worst wide receiver core that's ever been put together on an NFL team. Can I read you guys some of the top receivers that we had for that season?
I'd love to hear this.
Okay, so this is from 2022. The last season.
Kevin White can't be on there.
No, Kevin White is not on here. All right. So, leading wide receiver in terms of receptions for a leading receptions wide receiver. So Darnell Mooney, fine. He's an NFL player. Fine. Definitely not a number one, but he's fine. Equinemius St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Dante Pettis.
Yep.
Chase Claypool. Byron Pringle.
Oh, the Pringle.
Velas Jones Jr. and N'Keal Harry.
Yeah.
Those were our top 5 or 6 wide receivers that we had in 2022. Again,
Wow.
of those 5 or 6, I think Darnell Mooney is the only one that played in the NFL after that season.
Yeah. The old Pringle can. You know why they call him the Pringle can too.
Yeah. Yes.
Last name, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, it is a good problem to have, having, somebody that you want to see more of. Like, we don't really see that very much at our skill position. So I'm happy to see that. But dive back into this game a little bit. I think it's important, the touchdown drive at the end of the game to win it was important. But I think what gets lost a little bit in the past day since it's happened, the drive before that, when they're down by 10 points, was a 91-yard drive. They got the ball inside their own 10. So to go 9 plays, 91 yards with under, from 4 to 6 minutes to 4 minutes left in the game or whatever it was, that's big boy stuff. That's not, the Giants defense is not necessarily something you're scared of by any means, but up to that point, the Bears had not been able to really do anything against them. So that drive, I think, was really important. Caleb was he had some throws, and I think Greg Olsen even commented on how he was just like putting it right on people and throwing it with so much like velocity. But that's what you need. And seeing him be able to do that. And then we're talking about the Bears offense right now, but just a special shout out to Russ Wilson. Thank God.
Oh man.
Thank God. I mean, when he came in, I was like, the Bears might win this game. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
I
the
know.
touchdown. It wasn't the touchdown. It was Russ Wilson being in the game. It's like, oh man, we might have a shot at this because. And of course, in classic Russ fashion, he threw like 6 passes, and I think 2 or 3 of them were throwaways. Just that guy. I don't know what it is about that guy and throwing the ball away.
I still think of him early in the season when he threw the ball and it just hit it was like, there's no time on it. Like, well, you got to throw it to someone. He just doink off the crossbar. Like, what are you doing?
Take a chance, dude. Oh, God. So if Jackson Dart stays in the game, do the Bears win? Who's to say? Probably not, but who's to say? That didn't happen. Russ came in. Thank God. Man. Honestly, we can talk about, I mean, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but the Giants did fire their head coach, Brian Dable, today. As a result of not just this game, but his entire career, I'd imagine, was not super highly thought of in New York. But man, you got to think that just playing Russ at all has to be a factor in them firing him because he is so bad now. And it's not like, okay, most teams, it's like, well, who else are we going to play? Some undrafted third string quarterback that we have. They have Jameis Winston, who's like a proven NFL player who can like sling it around the yard. He might have some interception problems, but at least he's not throwing it away on 4th down.
I have no idea how Russ is still QB2 there. And like, it just doesn't make any sense at all to me, but we'll take it.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God for that. So anyway, obviously the Bears make the Giants go 3 and out, and then they get the ball back, and then Caleb leads them on another long drive. Actually, it wasn't that long because of a shanked punt by the Giants. In fact, I got to go to the bathroom after the Bears scored a touchdown, and like by the time I came back in the room, the Bears already had the ball at like the 30-yard line. I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck? What did I miss?" It happened very fast. So, so the Bears go down. We saw. I mean, Caleb had the run where he just rolled out to his left and just outran everybody to the end zone. And honestly, like I feel like that during this run, we've seen a lot of like emotion out of Caleb when he scores big plays. When he scored that touchdown, it almost felt more like relief than like celebration. It felt like he was like, okay, we didn't lose to the fucking Giants.
That's right on.
Like, I don't know if you guys felt that too, but that's how I felt. And that's like what it seemed like he was feeling too. So, so the Bears offense bad at the beginning they didn't just score points. The offense really turned it on and looked like honestly like an elite unit in like the last 2 drives. So seeing that was very, very positive in my mind.
It gave me like Chiefs vibes. Because like when they had the ball 6 minutes left on their own 9, I was like, all right, we're toast. Like there's not a way this is going to happen, because then you have to get a stop and then you have to do it all over again. I'm like, that's correct. There's no chance.
To start it, you have to go 91 yards and score.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
That's the first step.
Exactly. And I was like, we don't have that going for us. But I mean, Caleb was ripping these beautiful balls, like you were saying, these beautiful passes. And hats off to Colston Loveland too, because that guy's got some mitts on him. There was one catch that he chunked for like 20 plus yards. I forget which drive it was. I'm pretty sure it was the 91 yarder. And I mean, Caleb can fucking throw some lasers, and he's doing a crossbody and zip that thing in there. And I did the replay of Loveland just catching like the back half of that ball with his hands. I was like, this guy's fucking strong. And I don't know. It was really refreshing to see that, because there was another one like edge of the seat. It was just depressed the whole game. And it's like, holy shit, it's happening again. And it was a great fan experience for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I agree with you 100%. The one thing I want to talk about before we dive into the defensive effort on Sunday, a new season low, 3 penalties. This is great. 3 penalties for 25 yards. Like, you'll take that every single game. Penalties are going to happen. You give me 3 penalties for 25 yards, I'm going to take that every single week. So hats off to the boys for really, I don't know if they're working hard or if they just got a forgiving crew out there. I don't know what it was, but I want to see more of it, because 3 penalties that's fine. You can live with 3 penalties.
The Giants had 10 penalties for like a lot of yards. So
That's a good point.
the
Yeah,
flags
so
were flying.
Yeah.
Just not on us, which is shocking. But good hats off, like you said, hats off, whatever, something's off, take something off, show your
Take it all
respects. Can't take it all off. It was good.
Yeah. Bears also won the turnover battle 1-0. No turnovers again. We've been talking about Caleb a lot. Even when the Bears aren't playing well, he's not turning the ball over, which is, again, that's like the number one thing a young quarterback does is turn the ball over. So the fact that that's not something we have to worry about week in and week out is definitely encouraging and definitely helps. It brings more joy to the football watching experience. Previous quarterbacks that the Bears have had did not have that ability. There was a lot of turnovers. And speaking of previous, like I just felt like every time the Bears had the ball down a possession with Justin Fields, he got strip sacked every single time. It was like every single time, or just like a horrible interception to like nobody. So that doesn't seem like that's in Caleb's bag, which is good to know. 0 sacks given up also. Just really, I feel like those three things, the penalties, the turnovers, no sacks given up, those three things, you keep that up, you're going to win some football games. But let's dive into the defense a little bit, because I do want to talk about the defense. Jay, you wrote this down, and I agree with you, but it feels like they should have given up more points. It felt like the Giants kind of could do whatever they want whenever they want. And I think a lot of that is because Jackson Dart is a mobile. He kind of ran, like he was throwing it. It's not like he couldn't throw it. It's not like, he was not like a Taysom Hill situation out there, but he was running the ball very effectively in this game. It felt like whenever he tucked it and ran, it was for a big gain or a first down or whatever. So I do think that, the defense had some work to do. They did give, so the defense, they give up 431 yards, which is, again, not great. I don't know, Jay, you wrote this down. Did you have anything else specific you wanted to add to the just how the Giants seem like they should have really taken full advantage of this game?
The whole game is such a weird game because it felt bad, but we got the win, and you did what you needed to do to get the win. So there's that lens over it. And it's like what struck me is like, okay, you look up at the scoreboard, it's like they only give up 20 points. That you give up 20 points in the NFL, you got a really good chance of winning the game.
So definitely in every game. Yeah,
exactly. Right. You're automatically in every game if that's how many points you're giving up. But just the eye test was like, how and again, through the first three quarters when Dart was in the game, it was him using his legs and scrambling, but it wasn't even until like the second half that a lot of the scrambling was taking place. Dart was just kind of chunking off big plays right over the middle and in these out routes, and he was just kind of being a bit elusive, but it was just opportunistic. There were turnovers at the right time, 4 sacks for the Bears at the right time. And honestly, it was kind of what the Bears would be doing to themselves earlier in the year, where it's okay, you look good and you just can't get the ball in the end zone, or you have an inopportune penalty that sets you back 10 yards. And that's kind of what the Giants were doing. They were chunking these yards, but shooting themselves in the foot at the same time. So Drew, you always say it, bend but don't break, all that good stuff. And it's like, you can give up those chunk yards, just don't let them in the end zone. It's inevitably what they did. And it gave the Giants an opportunity to shoot themselves in the foot. If you want to spin that in a positive lens, that's how I would kind of put, rose-colored glasses over that. The negative, though, is you can't give up 431 yards to the Giants. That's really bad. And, you can give up 431 yards to the Chiefs, to the Ravens when Lamar's playing. Right. You shouldn't be doing that against the Giants. So there's obviously plenty that they still got to clean up on. But also some positives, like we said before, that we can hang our hat on, and the Bears defense can hang their hat on as well, because 20 points is a win any day.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but Jay, as you said, like Dart, he went 19 for 29, 242 yards, ran 6 times for 66 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Tyrone Tracy also had about 5 yards a carry on 14 carries, 170 rush yards. I mean, this offense we talked about doesn't scare anybody, but they definitely, Drew, like you mentioned at the top of the show, like it's a little scary how unscared we were, and they definitely came out and showed, like, I don't know. I wasn't sure how I felt on Jackson Dart, and I think that I really do think if he can stay healthy, he's a legit quarterback. He's a little scrawny, makes me a little nervous, especially if he's going to run so much, kind of like the Jaden Daniels situation. But he is a good quarterback. So I think the Giants got him as a steal, to be honest with you. He's easily like looking like the best quarterback in the class. So
and this is the only time, really. I mean, I guess you could say JJ McCarthy is a running quarterback or a scrambling quarterback. But you look at the Bears' schedule and every other quarterback that they've played, well, Jaden Daniels, I forgot about that. Other than those two, every other person has been a pocket passer and mostly stayed in the pocket, not rolled out a bunch. That's what scares me about the Bears is I don't think that they have a spy in there and didn't have it in proper place for Jackson Dart. Now, how much of a game plan that is going forward for some of the other teams that we have, I don't think it's going to be necessary. But Jackson Dart did feel like at any time he could break out of the rush and chunk off 20 yards at any time, which is scary, and especially since he had not a lot of wide receivers, still threw for 240 yards. I think the game plan was just a little bit off towards that, even though 4 sacks. CJ Gardner-Johnson, love that. And Montez still staying on the board.
He's staying on the board, man. That was a big thing I wanted to call out too. That's four games in a row with at least 1 sack. He got credited with a sack and a half this past game. So hey, maybe something's going on there. But 4 sacks for the Bears. I mean, we'll take that every week, right? That's unusual. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, CJ Gardner-Johnson had 2 sacks in this game on blitzes, but I think the third down sack where the Giants, like kind of the Giants 3 and out in between the Bears touchdown drives in the fourth quarter, the sack that he had on Wilson that really made, that ended their drive. That was a big one. That was the big one that just got, that was when it's like, okay, the Bears actually they're going to win this game. Like if you weren't thinking it already, they're going to win this game. So yeah, I thought that's good to see for sure. 4 sacks. Like I have to look into it, but I can't remember the last time the Bears had 4 sacks. If it was recently, I would be embarrassed, but I don't think it was. So
can't have been.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Another person I want to call out, Jaquan Brisker had a nice game, breaking up passes. Really good play on a 4th down in the second quarter. That would have been a touchdown, I think, right? Was that the one that was like in the end zone?
Yeah.
So that was, just Jaquan Brisker. He's always been one of my favorites on the Bears defense. I think he's a solid player if he can stay healthy, which luckily he has stayed healthy this season. And I think Greg Olsen actually called it out on the broadcast that he actually has played every defensive snap for the Bears this year. Which God, I would have bet my entire life that wasn't going to happen, but luckily he didn't have that as an option. So, but no, I love seeing him out there. I think it changes. Bears have a bad defense, but having him back there, I think he's a good player. So it's helpful.
Interesting thing is going to be when, if Kyler Gordon ever right? Kyler Gordon's our other nickel. If Kyler Gordon ever comes back and CJ Gardner-Johnson is meshing with this defense, like who's going to play the nickel? What are we going to do there? Like what's the breakdown there? Are they both going to play and you're just going to run two linebackers the entire game? But could be another interesting problem to have. But
I know CJ Gardner-Johnson has played some outside in his career.
Yeah.
He's more of a nickel. Like he plays better in the nickel. I think a lot of his teams that he's been on that he has not lasted long on are the teams that he played the outside for.
He's been asked it.
Yeah. But I think that my guess, if that were to be the case, I think that we're probably going to see him move to the outside and let Kyler Gordon play the nickel. But I think it's a good question though, because CJ Gardner-Johnson has done pretty much everything the Bears have asked him to do in the 2 weeks he's been here. So it's an interesting question. Also, have you guys heard anything about Jalen Johnson? Like, do you know anything about what's going on with Jalen Johnson? Like, I've been looking for updates on him, and all I can see is fan speculation that he might come back sometime in December if the Bears are still like relevant. Which,
That's funny, Nick. I was Googling that earlier and I could not find anything.
yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
It is.
So, but God, I mean, this
if we're
playing this
if
entire season,
it's cool. No, yeah. One thing I wanted to touch on too is like with our secondary, not to get on the negatives, but like, is Tyreek Stevenson kind of back on watch for having it not playing as well as he should be, to put it like gracefully? Has anyone been catching that? I feel like he hasn't been. His coverage has been a little lax those last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, he's
granted he went up against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins the week before, but
right.
like he was missing some coverages against some, like, I mean, it's the Giants wide receivers.
Darius Slayton.
I don't know. Slayton was just running like dig routes over the middle for like 15 yards. Like he's not even doing anything. He can't. What's going on?
Yeah, I think Tyreek is a very up and down player. I think that he'll have games where he'll be like, oh my God, Tyreek Stevenson might be a legit like cornerback one. And then he'll have games where like, okay, this guy is probably like a fourth string special team guy. Like he's not, what is he doing out here? So he's a very up and down guy. I would like to see some more consistency, even if it's like kind of somewhere in the middle, not necessarily the top end, but like just kind of like, yeah, he can cover somebody most of the game. Like I would like that. That would be ideal.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall defense, like you said, held them to 20 points, which is good, but a lot of yards. You know, that comes with 2 turnover on downs, the turnover on the fumble that Jackson Dart fumbled when the Giants were driving. So those 3 things really help you out a lot there. And the Giants should have scored more points. I mean, the amount of yards you put up, 20 points. If the Bears put up 20 points with over 400 yards, we'd be just complaining about that. In fact, the Bears have done that. So minus So, you know, it's the defense. You can call it bend but not break. I think that's being a little overly optimistic. I think the Bears defense I guess they did. They forced a fumble. So I don't know. Bears defense needs to be better. You can't put, honestly, the Bears offense and defense needs to be better, but the Bears defense needs to be better because they're giving up an alarming number of yards per game. And when you're playing, like when you're playing the Bengals, it's fine. But when you're playing the Giants, like Drew said earlier, it's just, you can't do that to the Giants. The Giants are not a 400-yard offensive team. So can't be doing that. Drew, do you have any other thoughts on the defense?
No, the game that I think you came out and thought that you probably had an even, if not overly matched. Going forward, though, it's not going to be that way. You've got, Nick, I think you've touched on this many a time through our review shows, preview shows, that the remaining schedule, like strongest strength of schedule, or at the same time, you're not going to be favored in many of these matchups. And it's got to be a defense that this is fine. You can copy and paste this through the rest of the year, but it has to be at this level. It can't be like you play this level for, and sorry, this is very around the, just a weird way to say things, but you need to play at this level for every other team, and kind of like vary it based on the team that you're playing. Like 20 points, that's fine. Our offense can outscore 20 points. But seeing it against the New York Giants, you weighted a little bit heavier to say like, dang, that's hard. So really, you just have to keep this level of playing just good enough to keep your offense in games. That's it.
Yeah. We don't. I feel like this is something we usually say about the Bears offense to support the Bears defense, right? But in this case, it's the Bears defense to support the Bears offense. We don't need you to be a top 5 unit. We don't need you to be a top 10 unit. Just be like a top 20 unit. Just be like a top 17, 18 unit.
Yeah, middle of the pack.
Anywhere near the middle of the pack, is fine. Middle third of the NFL. Just be there. If you can do that with this offense and Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams playing the way he's playing in the fourth quarter of games, I think you're going to win a lot of games. So keep that up. Drew, you mentioned the schedule coming up. We've been alluding to it quite a few times this show already. The Bears' remaining schedule, as we've said, not an easy schedule. Bears go to the Minnesota Vikings next week. Then they host the Steelers. Then they go to the Eagles on Black Friday, go to Green Bay on December 7th, have the Browns in Chicago on December 14th. That'll be a game the Bears are probably favored in. But then they host the Packers on the 20th, go to San Francisco for a primetime game on the 28th, and then they host the Lions to finish the season. So you got the Packers twice, the Eagles, Steelers, 49ers. I don't know if I said the Lions, but the Lions also are in there, the Browns. So just who's who of playoff teams minus the Browns is who the Bears have coming up. Maybe in the Vikings. We'll see. The Vikings kind of suck too. But they beat us, right? So we can't take that game seriously.
Man, that one might hurt at the end of the season. That Vikings loss week 1. It just oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens going down. But we'll talk more about that. Obviously, we got the Viking. We'll talk more about the Vikings game on the Vikings game on Thursday. I'm going to call it a must win, but we'll get to that on Thursday. All right. Really only one major injury that came in the game on yesterday was the DJ Moore injury. He hurt his shoulder. Not really sure the severity of it, but he did come back to the game. But he did have 0 catches in the game, so you got to imagine the shoulder was bothering him a little bit. We've kind of already talked about the wide receiver depth a little bit, but DJ Moore, he is like the vet on the Bears. I mean, like the star vet, because I know Zacchaeus is also a veteran, but having DJ Moore as your starting outside receiver, being, an all-pro level player that he's been in the past, does DJ Moore's shoulder injury, if it's going to be, I don't even know if it's going to knock him out, but if he's not full go, does that concern you moving forward at all, Jay?
Honestly, I feel bad saying this, but like not really. I don't. I think that they can weather the storm. Drew mentioned it earlier. The depth, worst case scenario, you'd get burned a little bit more go, but like Caleb's kind of been facilitating, and Rome is the clear number 1 on this team. Like I don't even feel weird saying that. Like he just is. I know he had a goose egg last week, but he just kind of is. So. And DJ's numbers, and maybe it's the presence and just one less person to be worried about, but like that he hasn't put up that like crazy of numbers, and the distribution through Loveland and Burden and Alamade, Tamade, the tight ends is like, I feel like that's the nice part about having the depth is there's not really a huge amount of concern if one of DJ or Rome or someone were to go out. I'd be more concerned if it was Rome, to be completely honest with you. But I don't know. Just DJ's not, just doesn't seem to have been as impactful as I probably would have thought before the season.
Yeah. Drew, anything concerning there for DJ?
It concerns me just because he's a presence that has been solid for us. He's getting paid a lot of money. And he's been on the injury report for the past couple of weeks. I think he's been strong enough to fight through that and get to there. It's just another weapon that I want solidly there for Caleb Williams. So yeah, it concerns me a little bit, but it then brings another piece that you guys have been talking about of Luther Burden might be able to do some things there. It's a good problem to have. I like DJ. Other than when we're losing massively in games, and it seems like he just checks out of them. But I like DJ in all, and I hope he has success with us.
Yeah, and hopefully that is out of the Bears system, the losing by
for sure.
Points. But I'm going to be honest, like DJ, I love DJ Moore. When the Bears when he was part of the deal for the number 1 pick, I was just thrilled. Like I love DJ Moore. I think he's an awesome player. But the idea of Caleb throwing to Burden and Rome and Loveland with Monungai in the backfield, it kind of gets you. It's like, oh, this might be the next, like, this might be the next, like, 5 years. This might be, I mean, Manungai, he probably won't be like an every down back ever.
It's a little hard. Yeah.
It gets you a little, it does. It makes you, it makes you a little horny.
Torque.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get a motor.
No, but like just seeing the young talent the Bears have accumulated. Yeah. I mean, that's just, yeah. I mean, it's exciting. So I love DJ Moore. Hope his shoulder's fine. Hope he can play. But I've been talking about it. It's kind of a theme of the show is I want to see more Luther Burden. I think he's going to be a star. So I want to see more of him.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's just like, not to go too far and overkill on this, but like DJ signed through 2029, you know, and like is right. He somewhat like expendable? Maybe again, that's way down the line, but like, I don't know. Is that a bad thing to question? I feel bad saying that because I love DJ too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot. It's the most expensive Bears contract of all time, I think, right?
I think you're right on that. Yeah.
Until Caleb signs his extension in a couple of years, I'm sure it'll blow that. It'll be like triple that, but hopefully, God, I hope that would be a good problem to have.
All right, Moosh popping in saying it's guaranteed money is either done after this year or next year. So that's that. We'll see. We'll see. I love DJ. I don't want to talk about DJ getting out of here. But you know what I mean. I think we're on the same page.
We're all on the same page. We all love DJ Moore. We want to see him back. We want to see him out there. But if he was not out there, seeing more Luther Burden would make me very happy. So, all right, moving on. Ben Johnson, another funny. A funny thing I want to bring up about Ben Johnson. I'm sure the past, whatever it's been, month and a half. It's been like must-see TV to watch the Bears locker room post game. Handing out the game balls and the breaking it down, the good, better, best thing, all that fun stuff. So Ben Johnson gets out there in front of the team, just like lets out like a scream and just says, I got nothing left to say to you guys. I keep saying the same thing every week. And it's very funny to me because they win. We're watching the same Bears game every week. And it's fun. It's a fun way to watch football. So I don't know if you guys, I can't hammer this point home enough. Ben Johnson's the guy. Ben Johnson has my complete trust in everything he does.
Yeah.
I trust. I mean, he does. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like Ben Johnson is the best hire the Bears have probably ever made. So,
lifetime. Yeah, in our lifetime, that's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't. Like, Lovey was a good coach for a long time, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if you guys have anything to add.
I feel you there. No, yeah. I mean, the locker room recaps never get old, especially after the wins. It's like, yes, feed it to me.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
Sorry, I'm watching this Green Bay game too, and hoping for an absolute loss. The thing about Ben Johnson, more than anything else, is just I love his stoicism in the game. We've seen it plenty of times through some of the coaches that we've had in the past. But
the Packers trying a 67-yard field goal here?
Yes, they are about to do that.
Yes,
they are about to do that instead of throw a Hail Mary. Yes. Oh. Here's to tie the record.
Captain Insano. Also, I don't know why the Eagles didn't punt the ball. They went for it on 4th and 6 and just bury him with no timeouts. That was probably one of the worst coaching decisions I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, I will say that did have some potential effect on the Guillotine League. Now that not that we've really gotten into that, but what I wanted to round out with Ben Johnson before this game ends here and we see this final field goal, is that his mentality very much in the game is like he's a part of the game. He is a part of the game. Sure. Like he doesn't seem checked out in any way, shape, or form. Like if they're doing bad, if they're doing really good, he is just in the game. And then after the game, outside the game, during practices, during his interviews, like he is humanized. You see him. And I love to see that a lot. It seems very different from a coaching standpoint than we've ever seen. So that speaks to me very much that Ben Johnson is, we're all confused of what's going on here.
What is happening?
I don't know. in Green Bay and Philadelphia. They kicked a field goal. It missed. Apparently a timeout was taken. Now they're throwing the ball away.
This is
bizarre.
Is bizarro land.
What is
and
happening?
Drew, you have great points on Ben, but like this is Captain Insano bizarro land. Banana land. Nothing about this is making sense. I still can't get over the fact that Sirianni didn't punt the ball and kill some time and pin them deep. Like, I don't understand it. And like,
Sirianni's a dum-dum. That's really
this guy's gonna hit a 67-yard field goal. He got a free practice kick too. Like, I don't know how that's not a personal foul.
Yeah.
You can't just like get a free fucking practice kick.
Get the fuck out of here. Green Bay loses again. Bears win. Bang.
Did they block it?
Oh, he missed it by a lot. Did they get blocked, or did that just miss by a lot?
Oh, good.
I think they got blocked.
Guys, I have great news too. I actually I hit a monster parlay.
Monster.
I did.
Monster bomb.
I did. I had a 15-to-1-er with Saquon clearing 100 yards or in receiving yards by 1 yard at the very end. So it was an absolute miracle. We're back. And I put the house on the Eagles too. So we're back, baby.
And I'm going to toot my own horn here really quick. I just went 7-0 in the 3-man weave this week.
Oh, damn, dude.
All right.
That's got to be a first-time situation for anyone to do that.
Might be. It might be.
Hell yeah. Dude, we're back.
I believe did the Bears just jump the Packers?
Yeah, the Bears are in second now in the second place.
Yeah.
Second place, Chicago Bears.
Hell yeah.
Suck it, Packers fans.
God, this is great. Let's fucking go. That's right, Mooj. Let's fucking go.
Yes. All right. So now that weirdness of that that was the weirdest. That was watching this game with no sound and seeing that happen was the most confused I've ever been during a football game in my entire life. So anyway, Packers lose, Bears win. Awesome. All right. So really quick, let's go around. Let's grade the Bears.
Yeah.
So Drew, why don't we start with you? Let's do offense, defense, and then just overall.
Yeah. Offense for me is a little lacking in this game because obviously you've got your fourth quarter comeback. Looked great in that quarter. If I could grade just that quarter, I'd give him at least an A, if not an A+ for coming back and winning the game. The rest of the quarters just looked lackluster. So I'm going to stick with a C+ for the game. You won it. You're passing the class. I would like to see against a team like New York here a little bit more dominance, especially when it seemed like you had the setup for the game in your way, going your way. Defense, gosh, really hard to grade the defense hard because of the fact that I know that we're injured. It's not the greatest defense that we've ever had. And they kept us in the game. So I'm going to stick with a C, a solid C for it. And overall, just give the Bears a solid C. It's a game. I'm actually C+. We'll round in because they won the game. The offense won the game and weight it a little bit more into there. You won the game. It was definitely a game that you should have won. You were favored in to win, and it wasn't clean. So need to clean sheet a little bit more if you're going to get in the B's and A's for that.
Yeah, I agree. Jay?
And it's probably objectively the fair grade, Drew. I think I'm bringing a little subjectiveness into mine, and I'm gonna be a little bit more lenient on the grading scale, especially on the offense, only because I think that this type of a comeback win, especially for Caleb, and this is my favorite stat of the week, is this is Caleb's fourth game-winning drive of this year, which is pretty damn cool. Like, that's really that's what you want to see in a second-year quarterback. You're not turning the ball over. He's maybe it's not looking clean throughout the game, but when it's gut check time, he is the one that's cashing the checks. And so I love that. I think I'm going to give the offense actually a B+ because of that. I think that the ability to have a bad game and then when you need it to deliver is really something that I'm just not used to as a Bears fan.
Mhm.
And I think that that was a Caleb Williams kind of statement moment, not only for this season, but I really think it's going to be driving a ton of confidence going forward for our quarterback. So I'm going to give them a B+ there because I really do believe that the carryover effect of that is going to be really positive. The defense, this is a tough one, Drew. I think you kind of hit it on the head. I'm going to go B-. Again, I'm a little bit more leaning on the grades here. At the end of the day, they let up 20 points. 20 points is good. I can't go under a B if it's 20 points, regardless of how you got there. 431 points, or that's a lot of points. 431 yards allowed.
that might be less than a B.
Yeah. And like, it's also kind of almost grading on a scale because like this defense is not good. And the Giants aren't good. But for whatever reason, I'm going to give them a B- because again, I'm just going to see the end. I don't need to see the work done. Just 20 points is 20 points. I'm giving them a B-. And then overall, I'll give them a solid B. You get the win, keep the streak alive. Again, I understand it's probably more lenient than I should be on the grading, but that's it. I just have some positive vibes in the system today.
All right, that makes sense. So I'm going to give the Bears offense. So the Bears offense was really bad for most of the game, but they were honestly, I'd say they were elite in the last two drives. I'm going to give them a weighted grade, right? It's going to be a great amount of curve here. So I'm going to give them a B on offense, even though again, most of the game they didn't deserve they weren't playing as if they were a B offense, but I'm going to give them a B just because of how elite they were in the last two drives. So B on offense, mainly because of Caleb's play, but just B. The offensive line was mauling people still, so B. And then the defense, I'm going to give the defense a C-. No, C. Sorry, solid C. The yards is a lot. 20 points isn't that many. You get 2 turnovers on downs. You had the fumble, so that helps. But I think it also helps that you don't really see Jackson Dart much in the fourth quarter. So getting to see Russ Wilson for like half a quarter that definitely helps your defense a little bit. So C for the Bears defense. They kept them in the game one way or another. So overall, I'm going to give the Bears I'm going to give them a B- for the overall game. Just there's a lot to clean up. I think the penalties is what keeps them from being a B- to a C, keeps them in the B's instead of the C's. Having 3 penalties in this game overall, very, very positive. So I'm going to give them a B- for the game. And I honestly, I say this a lot, but I do think it gets me excited knowing that the Bears did not play their A game. And I don't think none of us gave them A's. So I think that B-, playing a B- game in my mind and still winning the games, there's still so much more to this team. They could be so much better. So I'm just optimistic that they finally all fire at the same time and they're all on the same page some game. And we just see what this Bears, their full potential. So anyway, that was Bears talk. So Jay, I'm going to kick it back to you. Let's bounce around the league a little bit.
Sounds good. I mean, shoot, let's just start with what we just saw, right? We'll keep it in the NFC North, and the Packers just lost again, 2 in a row, but they just lost an absolute stink fest, which, to be honest with you, I was listening to Troy and Joe call this before we went on the air, and it wasn't actually very exciting game for how shitty of the points going back and forth was. There's a lot going on. Obviously, a lot more enjoyable with the Packers losing 10-7 in a bizarro finish. But shit, guys, we kind of touched on it live. Bears are in second place in the NFC North now. They just leapfrogged over the Packers. I don't know, man. That's 2 back-to-back games where Jordan Love's looked like Bryce Young. I couldn't tell the difference between the two, to be honest with you. That fumble, he's just missing wide open receivers. He can throw a good ball, but I think this is actually helping me. And sorry, I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. This is helping me to understand. And I've seen Jalen Hurts missing wide open receivers too. It's good quarterbacks don't always hit open receivers in today's NFL, right? And that's just the reality of it. You have Jalen Hurts missed one of his tight ends for what would have been a walk-in touchdown, and he just overthrew him. And he was wide open. Jordan Love looks like he looks like Sam Darnold when he was on the Jets. He's seeing ghosts. Yeah. So I don't know. You never know who's going to show up apparently with Jordan Love. Is it going to be good Jordan, or is it going to be bad Jordan? I think that's kind of where we're getting with the Packers and Jordan Love. It's like, which one are you going to get? The Jordan Love that puts up, 10 points a game, or the Jordan Love that puts up 40? That's not a bad spot to be if you're a Bears fan. Because the thought early in the season was Packers to the Super Bowl, they're the best team on the planet. And they are anything but that recently. So, Nick, we were watching this all together. What takeaways did you have? Sorry, not to take all the talking points there, but I mean, let's go.
Good. So honestly, okay, I agree with you. I think Jordan Love he can be very good. We've seen him be good, but he has a lot of these stinker games in him. And to see the Packers build a really good team and have their quarterback be what kind of is bringing them down a little bit, I don't have the words to describe how happy that makes me feel. I don't have it in me to it's such a satisfying feeling seeing the Packers be such a good team being weighed down by their bad quarterback play. That's never been the case. We've just watched Packers quarterbacks for 30 years just fucking kill us. So seeing Jordan Love struggle, it's probably one of the most positive football things that's ever happened in my entire life. So yeah, it's great. I think he'll probably bounce back and be good again at some point. I don't think he's absolutely the worst quarterback in the NFL, but I do think that there's enough bad games in there. Is it a Rex situation? Is it a good Rex, bad Rex? Like you said, kind of seems that way, because he's either going out there and lighting it up, or he is just not finding anybody and throwing some of the worst interceptions or fumbles or whatever. So, yeah, very happy they lost. Very happy Jordan Love looks terrible, because if they lose this game 27-24 and it's just a good game, that's a you're talking about an NFC Championship preview then maybe. But the fact that it was such a shitty game and Jordan Love looked like shit, it's oh man, the Packers might actually have some problems.
Yeah. Drew, what are your thoughts on the Pack?
I'm just confused if it's because the offense, Mooch just touched on it. They don't have enough pieces. Is it the offense that doesn't have enough pieces, or is it the fact that LaFleur doesn't know how to call for his pieces? Just Josh Jacobs seems to be eating every week for them, so maybe it's the game script. I don't know, but it's still. Green Bay is always going to scare the hell out of me, no matter what.
Yeah,
they are. Whenever we play them, it just seems like they're playing a very, very weird season. You came out and start and you looked like you were going to be world beaters, and now you're just completely go in. Please count. Didn't count. Damn it. Sorry, I'm watching a basketball parlay right now. How could we be talking about basketball parlays right now? We're a football show. But yeah, I'm concerned about the Packers when we play them. For everybody else in the league right now, they shouldn't be concerned about the Packers, because they are completely human, and maybe their defense is good, but at the same time, you've shown through many weeks of tape now that you can beat them by scoring low and beating them through Jordan Love. So, yeah, there's nothing else to say in that one.
No, yeah. They do have a great defense. They're going to be in the hunt. They're not going away. It's nice to see. There's a little bit of a parallel between the Packers, I feel, in the NFC and the Bills in the AFC. In the sense I don't think it's adding up for everybody how they're losing some of these games. I feel like the talent's there. Obviously, the biggest differentiator there is, Josh Allen and is miles ahead of Jordan Love, but still the teams should be better than what their records are saying. But at any cost, 5-3-1 are the Packers, 6-3 are the Bears and the Lions. And so speaking of the Lions went into Washington, D.C. This weekend, the 3:00 game window. Air Force One seemingly almost crashed into the stadium. I don't know if you saw that flyby. I didn't know if it was AI or not. I was like, what in the fuck is happening? This is like an Independence Day flick. That shouldn't be that close. But lo and behold, the Lions absolutely trounced Washington. Sans Jaden Daniels. The Lions offense put up 44. They looked great on the road. But still a little bit of an enigma. They're 6-3. They lost last week. Am I correct in saying that?
To Minnesota.
To Minnesota. So it's like the NFC is just completely unpredictable. But here we are with the same record halfway through the season with the Detroit Lions. Obviously, we lost to them. I don't want to, I'll talk about the Vikings as well. They lost actually somewhat of a close game, 27-19 to the Ravens, ran into the Lamar train, and the Vikings were at home for that one. But the NFC North, man, there's some good teams in there. Lions, Packers, Bears. Does this, given where we are before the season, if we were to say we're 6-3 in second place, tied with the Lions, not having, we get to play the Lions one more time, I can't imagine anyone would say that would have happened, right? I mean, we're miles ahead of expectation in the preseason, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Agreed.
Is there a chance the Bears win the NFC North?
No.
No, yeah, there's not.
Yeah, let's not get.
I know. I had to ask.
We're trending up. We're not trending that far up.
Yeah.
No, I think we all know that we're not that great of a football team, and the record is nice to have. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I think the next month is going to really show us a lot about the Bears team. And honestly, if the Bears walk away for the next 4 weeks with a 2-2 record, I think I'd be pretty thrilled with that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Anything more than that would be just, then maybe we could start talking about maybe division, but I have to see it. And the fact that we played the Lions and just got absolutely pantsed by them already this year makes me very nervous. So it's great to be where we are, but they're not division contenders.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
The Lions made a huge, not a huge change, but a change that was apparent. So Dan Campbell took over the play calling and in the offense this week, and it was clear that it was going to be run, and get that back going, which scares me when we play them next. Granted, it's the last game of the season, but they should and will lean heavily on that run with their 2-back set, and that scares the hell out of me if they can get that going and always get that going in a game. And no slouch, Jared Goff threw for another 320 yards. So, they are the team. Once again, we were thinking that, yes, I kind of lean towards the Packers, but they got their offense right. And I think after a loss, they got back to where they needed to be. So it's the Detroit Lions going forward.
I'm still with you, regardless of what their record is. And again, it's a fine record. It's 6-3, but they're the cream of the crop, in my opinion. I still have a Lions Super Bowl winner ticket in my hand. So, there you go. I know we're a Bears podcast, but part of me is rooting for the Lions. Sacrilegious. Sorry.
No, I get that. And I know we're talking NFC North right now, but really quick, just to touch on the Commanders, I believe they're like the first team in like 50 years to lose 4 straight games by 21 plus points. Just a really bad stretch of football for the Commanders. It kind of seems like the Bears-Commanders game every year, the loser of it just fucking tailspin straight down to the toilet.
Somebody either way.
Yeah. Someone's season is ending that night. And luckily the Bears were the winners, and they have gone up, and the Commanders, they go on an NFC Championship run last year, and they are just an absolute trash team this year. Whether Jaden Daniels is playing or not, they are just a garbage team.
That is true. 3-7 on the season for the Commanders, and it's not looking to get any better anytime soon. So interesting. All right, Drew, you got it. And does anyone else, Nick, Drew, anything else to touch on in the NFC North? Any fun tidbits?
Vikings lost again.
Yeah, Vikings lose.
Not scared of that team, although we do have to play them next week, and we'll review it, or we'll preview it in a couple of days. But I'm not scared of that team. Can beat them.
Yeah. I mean, JJ McCarthy. That was my favorite line that was written in one of our rundowns. Is JJ McCarthy bad? He might be bad.
He might be bad.
Might be bad. Well, let's go over to Europe. We had another 8:30 Central Time kickoff, which is always fun. I do like those. They're normally kind of stinker games. This one was a fun one. Colts beat the Falcons in Berlin. Jonathan Taylor, good God, another 3 touchdown performance, just absolutely insane. I kind of wanted to touch on this at the forefront. Like, Jonathan Taylor has a somewhat realistic shot of becoming like the league MVP this year and winning that award.
Yeah.
He is right now plus 600. There's only 3 people ahead of him, and obviously they're all quarterbacks. But like, I like getting the conversation in the mix of a non-quarterback in the MVP contention. And if anyone's going to do it, it was Saquon last year and might be Jonathan Taylor this year. He's got 1,139 rushing yards, running for 6 yards a carry, which is unfucking believable. Yeah. 15 touchdowns on the ground, running, and 2 touchdowns through the air, receiving. There can't be an actual shot. Like, the MVP award doesn't go to a running back. He would need to continue this pace, and that just seems unsustainable. Drew, is there a shot? Are you taking a flyer on a plus 600?
I wouldn't count it out, just because I know that they have to play through the South. Granted, they get the Houston Texans twice,
right?
Which is the best defense in the NFL right now. Although, what a game in Houston in Jacksonville. But I think Jonathan Taylor has the wherewithal to put up more than an MVP. It's going to be a 2,000-yard season. I think that's almost guaranteed at this point. But just in Indianapolis, the way that they're seemingly calling plays and the well-oiled machine gives them a chance. So I'd take a flyer on it right now of plus 600. I don't think it's with some of the quarterback play that is happening in the AFC. I might buy into that ticket. They have the Chiefs, they have the Chiefs next week. So that's probably a game that doesn't promote a great run script for him. So if you're going to get anything to buy high on Jonathan Taylor, or buy at the best time, this might be it. And if he does really, really well, it's only going to go down, because that's a potential showdown for Indianapolis to show that they are an actual team in the AFC.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I will
say one thing about this really quick about the MVP discussion. The MVP, it's at the end of the day, there's really no stats driven, because again, last year Lamar probably should have been the MVP. He wasn't. Josh Allen was. So it's a lot of voters, and it's like humans making decisions. I think it's worth noting that, one, he plays in Indianapolis. He's a running back, and the Colts only have one primetime game the rest of the season. I think it's probably a Thursday night game. I could be mistaken about that. I don't know what December 22nd is. That is checking.
2 days before Christmas.
It's a Monday night game. It's a Monday night game. Okay. So they have a Monday night game against the 49ers. So they do have a primetime game. So that's the kind of might help his chances a little bit. But I think it's a great season. I think it's awesome that he's doing that. I don't think there's a shot he's going to win MVP.
I'm with you, Nick. It's just the award is you're the best football team's quarterback, and you get the MVP. There you go. Congrats.
I did get a ticket of I did get Matt Stafford at plus 500 a few weeks ago. Ooh. He's already down to plus 300, so feeling pretty good about that.
Very well. You know who's the odds favorite right now?
I do.
It's Drake May. Yeah. What? I mean, your guy.
He is my guy.
But
he is my
really?
Guy. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on that one.
Yeah. Agreed.
I like the Stafford ticket a lot, though. He's just smooth as hell, and that Rams team is very good. Now, I have a little blurb in here. Drew, you mentioned this one, and I was like, oh, that did happen, didn't it? That was weird. Did we get a Nazi and Hitler referenced in that game? That was interesting. I was like, I was not expecting that. I know it was Berlin, but that was tied in a little bit, not as smoothly as I would have thought.
Yeah, I'm sure the Germans didn't love that inclusion.
I was going to say
worldwide broadcast of football in their country.
They went back. The sub context of that is they went back and started talking about the 1936 Olympics, or whatever the Olympic Games, because that's where it was being played, and they showed the Jesse Owens and everything. But the announcer went way too far left onto that and was going into the regime and talking about it, and it's hold on a second. 8:30 in the morning, probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That was our guy Adam Amin who calls the Bulls games.
Oh
Usually.
God, it was.
That was.
It's like, yo, Adam, let me get my cup of coffee first. You know, this is early, my man.
Yeah, that's.
I'm
That's
pretty sure
hilarious.
everyone in the world knows about that too. Like, I don't think we need to go that in depth. We're playing
Yes.
football. Let's play football. Okay.
I would love to have like just had an earpiece in and heard the producers as he was like not ranting, but just like going down that path. Like, whoa, where we going? Adam,
Oh no.
Adam, it's
We
third
lost
down.
him.
Adam, it's
Yeah.
third down. Let's
Yeah.
get back to the game, buddy.
Yes. Yeah. I wanted to get that blip in there because that had me laughing when you were texting that, Drew, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, well, that's what? But anyway, I know we were talking about the Colts having to play the Texans. Drew, you were all over this one when we were watching Red Zone and whatnot, but the Jags and Texans, do you want to walk us through that one at all, Drew? Because that ended up being kind of the game of the week, I feel. And again, it was the theme of the NFL this year has been the bad games are the most entertaining ones.
Yeah, just a weird game in general with a 19-point lead blown. Davis Mills coming back to win a game. Trevor Lawrence turning into a pumpkin, and as he should. But I just don't know about this AFC South. It's so weird every week to see a team that like in the Houston Texans that were showing up as the number one defense in the league and then obviously give up 29 points. But I don't know. I don't know in this game of what you want to touch on. Was Davis Mills actually good? No, we know the answer to that. No, he wasn't actually that good. And I think it just shows that the Jags are not a team, even though Nick and I did like them in our playoff predictions. Yeah. The Jags are just not a team this year. But fun game either way to watch and see that the random games of the NFL can show up if you're watching them.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is bad, I think. I think like the verdict's kind of in there. One thing to call out too from the betting angle too, the Jags were plus 2.5 points. They had a 19-point lead going into the fourth quarter. So you're holding that ticket. You're like, all right, we're good. Thankfully, I was not holding that ticket. I wasn't holding any ticket in that game. If I was holding a ticket, it would have been the under, and that would have been the wrong play. But they blow the 19-point lead, which is bad enough. But at the end, with zeros on the clock, literally with zeros on the clock, they're covering that game and then fumble, return for a touchdown. You lose. That's just a brutal loss. That is a brutal loss if you were holding that ticket. So I always love those quote unquote bad beats, but that was a pretty fucking bad beat if you're holding that ticket.
That's do you remember the Jags Chargers playoff game a few years ago? Yeah. Where it was very similar. Yeah. They blew like a 28-point lead or something like that.
Yep.
It was the nightcap on a Saturday night. I remember I was at a friend's house. We were watching it. One of my buddies got very drunk. He passed out around like halftime of that game. And he had a huge Jaguars money line ticket, just like probably like $400 out, like just a massive bet because he went to sleep thinking that he won the bet, and then he woke up and we told him that the Jaguars lost, and he thought we were fucking with him, and then we showed him like the replays, and he's like, "Oh my god!" Just the look on his face, and that's how I imagine somebody had that reaction to this game. Somebody walked away from this game, Jaguars plus 2.5. Up by 19 points in the fourth quarter. I'm going to go walk my dog, or I'm going to go get some coffee or run an errand or whatever. And they're going to come back and they see the final score and their heart's going to fall out of their chest.
That hurts. That hurts. Yeah. Well, that's why you can't bet Jags Texans. Sometimes you just got to lay off the gas pedal.
That's right. Joke's on you in that case. In the first place.
Yeah. We'll get through a couple more. There were some good games this week. So the Pats kind of kept it rolling against Tampa Bay. That was that was a surprising win. They were in Tampa Bay. They ended up winning 28-23, and that's why Drake May's leading the odds and the MVP talk. What are they, 8-2 now? So
Yeah.
And we've talked about it ad nauseum. Love the Patriots. They can't be this good, though. They can't be 8-2 good, but we'll see if they can keep it rolling. Travion Henderson had his breakout game, though, which is nice to see. I have him in a couple fantasy leagues. I was really high on him. And Drew, I think you kind of said it best. I was like, Stevenson's coming back. They'll probably go back to a committee or something. So who knows? But one thing to call out in this game, too, was I don't know if you guys caught this, but on Travion's last run to kind of ice the game, he had so much space and there was only like a minute and a half left. He was literally looking back at the sideline to see whether he should take a knee at the goal line or just go in. And it was pretty funny if you saw that clip. If you haven't, I would look it up. It was kind of comical.
Yeah. Just shout out to Travion Henderson for waiting until I was out of the guillotine league to have a good game. So shout out to him. That was really, really sweet. I appreciate that.
Salt in the wound, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens with Tampa Bay though, because I don't have the record offhand, but I know that it hasn't been easy.
I think they're 5-4.
Yeah,
6-3. Okay,
6-3 now.
Okay,
but they look very, very hot, and hopefully Baker can get it back on track, because I feel like that's a team that a lot of people just kind of root for with the Baker moxie of it all.
And not to bring this, I know we're going kind of long. I just want to bring this up. I sent this text to you guys on Friday or Saturday before the games this weekend. If you put Caleb and Baker next to each other, their stats this season are alarmingly similar. And it's just, I don't know. There's like this tendency to kind of shit on Caleb Williams when he has like a bad game. But if you look at their season stats, Baker and Caleb are having like almost identical seasons this year. And that was before this game. And they're probably about the same still, because I think they had about a similar game in terms of like passing yards and stuff like that. Maybe Baker's a little bit higher, but it's just wild that like Baker was the leading MVP guy 2 weeks ago, and Caleb has identical stats to him and the same record. So just want to call that out.
No, that's a great point. Honestly, a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were even talking about it on the podcast. He was like, man, Baker was missing some throws. Like he was looking like Caleb out there. And so the stats kind of say that. So it's a good thing. That's a good thing. If you can have your stats looking like Baker and everyone's glazing Baker, maybe Caleb's not so bad, folks. We'll kind of cruise through the rest of this. The Bills, I wanted to call it the Bills too, because they actually got crushed in Miami, which did I have $100 on the Bills minus 9.5? I did. Not a good bet.
Me too.
Not a good one.
Me too.
So the Bills dropped to 6-3. That's an interesting one. I kind of alluded to it earlier, but it seems very parallel with the Packers. Just a very talented team that's just putting up some duds and leaving you scratching your head a little bit. Is it time to panic, Drew, if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, or are they going to be just fine?
No, they're going to be just fine. It's a weird one. They seemingly play down to Miami once a year, and this was it for sure. It just means that we get more Mike McDaniel in our lives than anyone wants to see. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but the post-game press conference with Mike McDaniel was one of the just weirdest and ways, like the way he was talking. Again, you just feel that Miami heat, the Miami cocaine, whatever you want to call it, weighing down on that man. Yeah, could be a little bit of both. But yeah, like it's an irrelevant team winning a game against a relevant team right now, but I wouldn't sell off any Buffalo Bills assets for the rest of the season just because of this game.
I'm panicking a little bit just because the Patriots keep winning. You're not like the Bills. Sure, they mathematically could still win the AFC East, but I mean, you're down 2 games. The Patriots beat the Bills in their one head-to-head matchup so far, so they have the tiebreaker right now as well. I mean, you have to pretty much win out if you want a shot at winning the division. And that's crazy because they've been owning this division since, Brady left. So it's just crazy that the Patriots are back.
Yeah, I'm with you actually, Nick. I think it is a little panicky time for the Bills. Not that I think the playoffs are out of
they'll be fine.
Reach,
playoffs,
but home field advantage, the division, having to play in the wild card, anything can happen in the playoffs. So
yeah, they're going to have to probably play a road game in the playoffs right now as it stands. Like they're going to go to like Indianapolis or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be crazy too if it was wild card Bills, Ravens first round too? Just low seeds playing each other, and we'll
It
see.
could be actually because the Ravens will, if they're probably going to win their division, they're probably going to have the
Mhm.
worst division champion record,
Yep.
and the Bills might be like the best. Yeah, that actually is a pretty legit chance that might happen, which is crazy.
So that's kind of why I'm saying it might. That's not a good draw. So you gotta win some games, and in Miami's one you kind of gotta win. But Drew, you kind of called it too. It's like the Bills always are dropping a game to Miami. It seems, and they are historically. It reminds me of the Patriots when the Brady dynasty. They would always go into Miami and lose. Just they're 14-point favorites, and they drop an L. So we'll round up. And we'll make this a little bit quick if that's cool. But the NFC West, the Seahawks continued kind of their dominance. They went up 35-0 in the second quarter over the Cardinals, and that was all she wrote. The game ended up being 44-22, but I mean, they kind of called off the guards pretty with good reason. So they're looking elite. The Rams laid the wood to the 49ers in San Francisco, or wherever the hell they play. Call it San Francisco. Even though they play an hour and a half drive away. Like you said, Nick, Stafford, MVP ticket looks pretty good because he looked damn elite. And if Puka's still healthy, the sky's kind of the limit for them. I'm going to ask you guys both this question. If you had to pick one dog in that race to win the division, is it the Seahawks? Is it the Rams? I'm taking the 49ers out of it. They're just decimated with injuries, and it looks like it's going to be Seahawks and Rams. Drew, who do you think's going to be the division winner in the West come end the season?
I think it's a little premature to call out the Seahawks right now. Rams look too good. Stafford is playing amazing. I think he's the first quarterback in, I don't know if it's in history or in a while, that has thrown 4 TD passes and 300 yards in the past 4 games. It just seems like they're a little bit more established and a little bit just more ready to make a long run. But you can't ignore what the Seahawks are doing. Doing it against a little bit lower of competition the past 2 weeks, but at the same time, they are competing very well, and I'm not ready to crown Sam Darnold right now. You've got to see him against higher competition. I don't know when they play next, but it'll be a great game in the Rams and Seahawks. But I'll take the Rams to start right now through the remainder of the season.
Valid. Nick, are you in the same boat?
Yeah, so like the Seahawks, the last 2 weeks have been most dominant team in the NFL, but they played against the Commanders and the Cardinals. But I mean, credit to them. They do what they're supposed to do. Like, it's not like, I'm not knocking them for playing a weak schedule. I do think that their numbers are a little inflated from playing bad teams. And the Rams, I think the Rams are such a well-oiled machine. They've kind of been there, done that too. So I like the Rams. I also am biased from, again, the Matt Stafford MVP ticket, but I do like the Rams. I think they're a good team. And I think they probably would win head-to-head and hold the edge there.
Yeah, I feel like McVay, if anyone's kind of on the fence, I think the McVay factor of it all kind of swings it towards the Rams if you're a Seahawks believer. I'm looking at the schedules right now. Next week, Rams, Seahawks. They still have the Seahawks on the schedule twice. So that'll be a fun matchup next week. 3:05 matchup. We'll be tuning into that one. That's going to be a fun game.
Wish it was a primetime game, but I will be watching.
Yeah. On Fox, no Adam Archuleta, so we should be fine.
It'll be the Brady game probably.
Yeah, I bet you will. Yep. So that'll kind of round us up for around the NFL, unless there's anything you guys wanted to touch on. We'll get to the injuries too, but anything else that you guys wanted to throw in there?
Nope.
No. All right. Yeah. Injuries was somewhat light this week. More kind of fantasy related injuries. There's the offensive line got decimated for the Eagles and the Packers in tonight's game. Yeah. But other than that, Dalton Kincaid left for the Bills with a hamstring injury. Garrett Wilson's put up a nice fat goose egg for me in multiple fantasy leagues, which I don't know. Even if he was healthy, I don't think he would have put up a good game anyway. But his knee, the same knee that was bothering him, took him out of the game. He did not return. Jackson Dart obviously had his concussion. DJ Moore with his shoulder. We'll monitor that this week. We'll have some updates for you in the preview show on Thursday, which will be out on Friday. Brock Purdy's expected to be back in week 11. Nick, you said it so perfectly last show, I should say. It doesn't matter. Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, the same person.
Same guy.
Same guy. Slow, white, inaccurate, bad, but worse. Just plug them in. And then my favorite one was the Devontae Adams oblique. That was my favorite Twitter post, was just Devontae. Someone had it like, Devontae, you're getting old, man, because he was doing the cha-cha coming off of like a thing, and then you just see him grab his back, old man grabbing his back. The good news, if you're a fantasy owner of Devontae like I am, is he could have entered back in the game, says McVay. It's just the game was out of hand at that point, so they wanted to be extra precautionary with him. So, and
then there was a report a couple hours early this afternoon that Garrett Wilson is probably going to miss 3 to 4 weeks with his knee injury.
Yeah.
So
good.
Yeah. So that's I don't know if it's an IR trip for him or not, but he will probably miss at least the next 2-3 weeks.
I think that's just more of not wanting to play with Justin Fields.
Yeah, I feel
just not wanting to be on the Jets. Just take a vacation from the Jets.
That was my favorite in the trade deadline. My favorite memes were like Brees Hall, or who got traded. The guy was like, "One of us is expected in the Wreckage Brother." And it was like, Garrett Wilson. Sorry, man, you're stuck. You never want to hear that. So that'll do us for around the NFL. It was a great week. I'm on cloud 9. I just hit a massive parlay, and all debts and losses are forgiven just like that. But let's go into the podium list this week. We have a fun podium list. I love this topic. I chose it. It's best sandwiches all time. We're going to do best sandwiches. We're going to keep it simple. I do this for 2 reasons. I had a massive food weekend. I got incredibly drunk on Saturday. I had the hangover from hell on Sunday. It was bad. Did a little dads, from the kids in kindergarten's dads went out to the bars and we tied one off, got home late, and I had some good sandwiches on Sunday to help soak up all that delicious Busch Light that I was drinking at the bar. So we'll get into the podium list. And the podium list this week is proudly fueled by the Fizz of Glen Rock Pop, Lake County's legendary soda revival. Crafted with pure cane sugar, poured into classic glass bottles, and bursting with nostalgic flavor, Glen Rock is more than a drink. It's a hometown icon. Whether you're sipping on orange, cream soda, Nick's personal MVP, the all-new lime, Glen Rock is bringing the joy back to every corner of Lake County. You want to catch their pop-up trailer in action? Of course you do. Then follow Glen Rock Pop on Facebook for the latest event stops. Ready to stock up? Of course you are. Head to glenrockpop.com to find retailers near you. From tailgates to game days, Glen Rock Pop is the ultimate sideline sip. Don't just drink it, celebrate it. So we're going to go into our gold list where the order this week: Nick, Drew, me, Nick, me, Nick, Drew. Nick, why don't you start us off the best sandwich, your favorite sandwich all time?
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a consensus number one pick, but it's my number one sandwich if I'm going to like a lunch spot or like a diner or something like that for like a lunch. Give me the turkey bacon club. I love a turkey bacon club. It's my number one sandwich, so I'm taking that gold. I probably could have gotten that later, but no need to beat around the bush here. That's my number one. So turkey bacon club.
Got to stay true to who you are. You're talking about like the triple decker. We're talking 3 slices of bread cut into the 4.
When I saw that this was the topic, that was the first thing that popped into my head. But like really any turkey bacon sandwich, like Jimmy John's, go to like some diner, get the actual club, like the triple decker or whatever. So I'm taking the club, but yeah, any turkey bacon sandwich is what I
American classic. American classic. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a very good one. And we get into some controversial thoughts here with sandwich and what constitutes as a sandwich. Are we talking, are we talking that it has to be between two slices of bread here, there, or the other? I think I'm just going to kind of lean into like my favorite handheld thing that like is put together as like a sandwich. And if that's a bad call out here, guys, call me out.
No, we're going to be loose. Shoot from the hip.
Yeah, no, mine is going into it's the chicken Caesar wrap or chicken Caesar sandwich. That is a gold for me, a get that I will get anywhere, just because it just blends so competently the Caesar salad sandwich or a chicken Caesar salad sandwich into a sandwich, or I'm sorry, chicken Caesar salad into a sandwich or a wrap. So I have to go chicken Caesar salad sandwich / wrap, whatever that is. That's the number 1 of 1 for me for sure.
Oh yeah, that's a nice refresher. I love that in wrap form. You do a wrap, maybe like a spinach tortilla, get that all nice side of waffle fries. Yeesh. As I scramble to type that in, we'll get to that later. I'm going to take the spotlight here. I actually have an honorable mention that just popped in my head that I'm not going to say. I'll save that for later because it's an abomination, but it needs to be mentioned later. But we'll go with my 1 of 1, and that's the Reuben. I always I'm a sucker for it. I love it. You go to a nice deli, doesn't even matter where it's from, but a nice juicy, sopping, wet Reuben, Thousand Island dressing just oozing out of it, melty cheese, sauerkraut, corned beef, on rye. I'm in heaven there. That's what I had. I had one of those on Sunday, and it tried its best to cure me from my comatose hangover state. But give me the Reuben.
Yeah, Reuben's a good one, no matter what. If you're having it around here or in Mike McDaniel's favorite shop in Miami, yeah, it's a great one. It's a great sandwich. Just get you out of that hangover state.
All right, Drew, wrapping it back to you.
All right, silver. Oh man, I'm in between two right now. Am I gonna go basic kid choice, or am I gonna go a little bit more involved? I think I'm gonna go the basic kid choice, and I'm gonna go just a standard grilled cheese. Grilled cheese, no matter what type of cheese you use, it always works. But I think of just a stock standard in between two American singles and 2 slices of bread. You've got a grilled cheese that you put on the stove, you put on the grill, you put on in your microwave, whatever. Grilled cheese is a definite go-to and an easy make whenever you need it.
Oh yeah.
Solid, like food truck offering too. Late night grilled cheese. You ever had Cheesies? You ever heard of that place?
Oh yeah,
heard of it.
God. I used to live like 3 blocks from one downtown, and if you were coming home from a late night, just a greasy, but not I don't mean greasy as a bad way, but just that Texas toast. Just oh yeah, that's a good pick, Drew.
So me and my friends back in our heyday, we spent a lot of late nights, early mornings at Denny's. We ended up at Denny's a lot, like after drinking and drinking around. And Denny's used to offer the sandwich, and it was just, Jay, you mentioned an abomination. I'm just going to bring this up because I don't know if you guys did a lot of Denny's in your day, but I don't even remember what it was called. But it was a grilled cheese sandwich with 3 mozzarella sticks cooked into the grilled cheese sandwich. Maybe it was 4 mozzarella sticks. I don't even know. It was so, like, if you were drunk, it was the best thing in the world. But I could not, like, if you're a sober person, you ordered that, like, you probably need to be added to some kind of list somewhere.
Dude, I love that. Sounds damn good. But man, the lactose intolerance.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna be fighting an uphill battle.
Oh yeah.
The cheese that binds.
All right, I'll kick off my silver pick. Give me the Philly cheesesteak. Give me the Philly cheesesteak. I don't even know what else to say about that. But you want to talk about some more absolute killer drunk food? A Philly cheesesteak. You get a side of fries. Maybe put the fries inside the sandwich. You're gonna have a good time. And I can't get enough of it. So what also is funny about the Philly cheesesteak is that's what I had for dinner on Sunday. So I went Reuben and Philly cheesesteak. So there is a theme of we'll see if the third one sticks around, because I did have 3 sandwiches yesterday.
Double down.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, my silver pick, and we are a Chicago Bears podcast. I feel like this would be a place where I take the Italian beef.
There you go.
Just a good Chicago Italian beef. I don't get mine like soaked like a lot of people do. I get it dipped, not soaked. Throw some mozzarella cheese on there. Yeah,
You're a hot peppers guy, sweet pepper guy.
I'll do both, not at the same time. Like I'll go back and forth. I honestly, most of the time I get it is just like beef and mozzarella cheese. That's pretty much how I eat it most of the time. But I will get the peppers on there if I'm feeling it that day.
You a dip guy? You got to dip it, right?
So yeah, like I'll dip it, but I'm not like a soak guy. Like I want to be able to like hold it and have some kind of structural integrity.
Not it crumble and eat it with a fork.
Like if you some of these people get it and like you pick it up and it just like falls apart like in your hands. It's like that's disgusting to me. But yeah, I'll get it dipped. And just shout out Big Jack's in Lake County up in Grades Lake. That's the best Italian beef I've ever had up by me. I'm sure you guys have your Italian beef spots. Like that's a thing, like you go to like a place like Portillo's, you know what you're going to get. It's going to be fine. But I don't know. There's better ones out there and it's hard to get a good one. So once you get a good Italian beef, you got to like make sure you go to that place and doesn't close.
Yeah.
So
that's a great call. Honestly, the Portillo's one back in the day, maybe it was so good. It's very just like there's no flavor. There's no soul to it anymore.
Everything about Portillo's just like went super corporate the last like 10, 15 years. And it's just like, it's lost a lot of like what it used to be. Yeah. Still very good. I'll still go to Portillo's every now and then, but
it's mostly like a nostalgic play though. That like if the food has gone down in quality, I will say that.
Yeah, and they don't have like every Portillo's used to have the Bernellis or whatever, like the salad and all that stuff, and now they don't. The new ones don't come with that anymore.
Yeah,
like they put a Portillo's in Gurnee it's probably been like 10, 12 years now, but there's no Bernelli's like pasta place or whatever, so it's just like I don't know.
It's corporate.
It's so corporate. Yeah,
it's sold out.
And I think they literally did sell out, didn't they? Like, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They literally went public like a handful of years ago. Yeah,
right. And I think ever since then it's been downhill. But
yeah, and if you're an idiot like me and was like, "Oh, Portillo's, I'm going to buy some of that stock in Robinhood," don't check your portfolio. I'm telling you that much right now. Yeah. No, you got to love the Italian beef. My office downtown is a half a block away from Mr. Beef, where they filmed the bear. The bear. And so it was always a good Italian. It still is. It's a good Italian beef, but like there's a lot of times where the line's just around the block, because it's
it's on a TV show.
Bear,
right.
So I love that. You got to do it. You got to do the Italian beef. We're a Chicago show. I'm gonna I'm not gonna round us up. I'm gonna lead us off in the bronze, and I'm gonna take the chicken parm sandwich. The chicken parm sandwich gets the job done. I don't even need to say more than that. That's just I love him and done.
So for everyone listening, you had a Reuben, a Philly cheesesteak, and a chicken parm.
That's correct.
Sunday.
That is correct, Drew.
Wait, those are the 3 sandwiches you had on Sunday?
That is correct, Nick. Yep. I had a leftover chicken parm for breakfast, and then I DoorDashed like a fucking slob. And that wasn't even where I stopped. I also ordered like nof. It was and I'm telling you, I had some of the worst smelling farts. Like I literally had to I was in bed and I literally had to air out my comfort because it was just permeating and the smell was sticking to my
oozing out of your skin too.
It was awful. God. Ask Margaret about that. She was almost throwing up. And I had to remove myself from the room and my family because I was just seeping toxic waste.
Yeah, Jason's just sleeping outside in the fucking snow Sunday night because the smell's coming out of his body.
I went through the ringer, man. So yeah, the body's getting better now. We're Monday night.
All right.
It's been a grind.
All right. My bronze pick, I'm going to venture into uncharted territory so far in this draft. I'm going to go into the breakfast sandwich category.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant
Mhm.
as my. I don't know if you got that's my number one breakfast sandwich. I think that that's just.
Oh, yeah.
It's just get a. I mean, I like a biscuit, but give me that croissant. Nice, like a good croissant. It's the best.
You got a special spot in mind, or just anyone you're gonna
Literally
rock and
anywhere.
roll?
I'll go
Yeah,
to Burger King some night, like anywhere. Literally anywhere.
for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a
that's
Hall of Fame nominee
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. I had two in mind. I thought one was going to get picked, but I think I'm just going to go with the default of something that I love to make myself and is easy. I'm going to go with the BLT.
Yeah, there you go.
Go with the stock standard. I was thinking the Italian potentially, but I'm just going with a BLT because BLT, one, is easy to make. Two, it's good when you can get it somewhere else too. And I love a little augment on that. Throw a little avocado on there on your BLT and get another good taste in there. But BLT for me to round it out.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked that. The BLT needs to be represented on the podium list for sure. It's an absolute just OG. Yeah. It's so great, especially in the summertime when the tomato, like you get a homegrown tomato from someone that knows what they're doing. Good God, yeah.
Juicy.
Absolutely. I like to call out for there are a couple of honorable mentions, and I feel like the Italian is one that should have probably been on the list at some point. I was between chicken parm and Italian. I just kind of wanted to go for the shtick of what I actually ate on Sunday. I do love a chicken parm, but an Italian, that Fontano's in Hinsdale, man. You give me a Wise Guy or a Blockbuster, I'm a happy man. We gotta give the Italian some love. Do you guys have any honorable mentions?
Definitely the PB&J that needs to be on here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like I had a PB&J yesterday.
Man.
Yeah. I've probably eaten more of those in my life than any other sandwich, like all of their sandwiches combined. That was all I ate when I was a kid. So I love a good PB&J. Give me some strawberry. I'm a strawberry jelly guy, which is, I feel like both are great, but I'm a strawberry jelly guy. Smucker's strawberry.
Dude, I actually have been, since I married Margaret, her family was very fancy, very bougie. Okay, I'm just kidding, but like they are a blackberry jelly family, and I can't go away from it anymore. That's the only thing I get, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah. The only other couple that I had were either po' boys or lobster sandwiches. Although I don't eat them a ton. They are rich, and when I can get them in a good place, those are good. And then something that's been hot since I don't eat a lot of red meat anymore just because of the gout. But a good old a Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
I thought about that too.
Is a good one. Is a good go-to if you can get a good chicken spot.
Yeah, a couple that I wanted to mention too. I think the buffalo chicken sandwich, and it was similar to the Nashville hot buffalo chicken wrap, should be up there. I can't eat them anymore because my acid reflux. Just you got gout, I gotta say it's just the ailments. I can't. I will have a bad night. I also put down the Cubano. I'm a big fan of that. You get a little pickle. I did want to throw in my dishonorable discharge bucket of worst creation of all time. Drew, you and I have tried this a time or two in our college years. The KFC Double Down.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know how we
Double
call that
on the
sandwich.
Heart attack is what it is.
Surprised you guys made it out alive.
Oh God. All right. Well, that'll do it for the podium list. We'll get the graphics and the social media posts out there. If you guys are following along, please do give us a vote. See who's got the best trifecta of sandwiches. But let's close it out. Let's get into the closing thoughts. Nick, we'll start with you this week. Take us away.
Yeah. Closing thoughts. Haven't really given this a lot of thought today, to be honest with you. But no, I mean, I think you gotta just to kind of bring this back around to the top of the show. Like, sitting at 6-3 after nine games for the Bears is definitely ahead of schedule, and not. I looked at the schedule ahead of time, and I thought the Bears were possibly going to have like an easy first half of the schedule, but I didn't think they would win 6 games. I was hoping 4 or 5 tops. So having 6 wins under your belt going into the last, we have 8 games left. If you're holding on to an over 8.5 ticket, I think you're sitting pretty. Bears are currently in the playoffs. If the season ended right now, they actually might have moved up now that the Packers lost too. They might not even be the 7th team anymore. They might be higher than that. But either way, Bears are sitting pretty right now, and I think it's just a good time to kind of reflect and be like, all right, it hasn't been perfect, but here we are, 6-3. So there's been some bad, but let's just enjoy the good when it comes.
Well said. Well said. Yep. Reasons to be optimistic, reasons to have hope. We still have hope. Yeah. We still have hope, and it's halfway through the season.
It's usually long gone. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Well said. Drew, what do you got for us?
You missed it last week, Jay, on Thursday when we were wrapping up here. We are in 0 hour right now of Baby Boy Bailey coming out. So I am just trying to stay with it, with everything that I can be, with this podcast, with work, with everything. But we're looking like trending. It's going to be a week early. So we are potentially any day now. So I am just trying to keep it all together. That's my closing thought. Just keep it all together. I know you guys have both been through it multiple times. And I'm looking forward to the next couple of days / weeks, because we're going to have a baby boy coming in, and it'll be a change in lifestyle for sure. So keeping it all together for everyone out there.
Super cool, man. Yeah. I mean, goodness, very excited for you.
Yeah.
Do you have your hospital suitcase packed?
Yes.
All right. Good deal. All right. Good deal.
Yeah. We did before the show, we did a run through of everything that we're going to need to go to, because not to get too gruesome details, contractions are happening. So we're might be any moment.
My God.
We might get off this podcast and
it's happened. So you're live.
So,
holy shit. Okay, cool, man. Well, fuck. Awesome.
Make sure you get some snacks in that go bag. That's the number one thing. You gotta
got loaded.
Obviously for you,
food.
but yeah, Jenny is gonna, when she's done with all this, she's gonna want some snacks. If she's anything like my wife. So
my favorite, speaking of snacks and food, after Margaret gave birth to Georgia, she was starving, and so I did not have snacks. So that's a great call out.
Yeah.
But we went to I went to the cafeteria in the hospital, and I was like, "What do you want?" And she's like, "I want a burrito." And I was like, "Oh, sick. What do you want?" And she's like, "I want rice, beans, and corn." And I was like, "Okay, cool. What else do you want?" She's like, "That's all I want." And I was like, "Okay, that's fucking interesting, but let's rock and roll. Let's go. I'm not gonna fumble this." So I brought it back, and she ate it. She's like, "Why the fuck did I order this?" I was like, "I don't know, dude." I thought it was a weird thing. Yeah. So bring the snacks. Bring what you know that she likes too, because there might be some things going through the head that don't make a whole bunch of sense.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of. I mean, I don't know what your guys' plan is, but there's probably a good chance there's going to be some painkillers involved of some kind. A lot of chemicals and things. So
Oh, congrats, man. That's going to be awesome.
Very exciting.
Keep us posted, obviously.
Yeah. We're very excited for you guys.
Will do.
Yep. My closing thoughts for the week are, I'm very excited. Somehow it's November 10th. We'll be posting this on 11/11, which is fun. That means that Thanksgiving's only like a couple of weeks away. Which is crazy to think about. For the first time in my life, I'm going to be hosting Thanksgiving and cooking the turkey and all that. Ooh. So I am on high alert. I am getting nervous. So I did the thing where I bought a turkey for a pre-turkey, because I did not want to fuck up the turkey, because I've never cooked one in my life. Yeah. So that's tomorrow's day after work. I am putting a turkey in the oven to see how it comes out as the test turkey.
Yeah.
So on the theme of best sandwiches as well, for the podium list, going to be having a lot of turkey sandwiches in the coming weeks, which is also one. It could be an honorable mention in best sandwiches as a post-Thanksgiving turkey sandwich, mayo, whatever else you got. I'm going to be having a lot of those in my future. So I do love Thanksgiving. Drew, I always love how you say to not look past Thanksgiving, because it is one of the better ones.
You gotta enjoy Thanksgiving. It's one of the best holidays we got.
Hell yes. And baby boy Bailey will ideally be celebrating that first thing. I'm assuming, right? I mean, Jenny's having contractions. I think baby boy Bailey's going to be around for Thanksgiving. So very cool. Very cool. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for us here at Barely Qualified. For Drew Bailey, Nick Lavris, I'm Jason Maxwell. Thanks for listening. And as always, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Thank you for listening to the Barely Qualified podcast. Like, comment, subscribe for more on a bi-weekly basis.